Harry just said he can't see us.
No, there's nothing. We might be going out on YouTube, but see if you can find the switch or call the preacher and find out where the switch is. There's no need us going on.
No, we ain't
It's
going out.
it's streaming.
Well, let me check with my man. Let me check with my man here.
It's not coming in on my Facebook. There it is. We're on now.
We
Thank
good to go
you.
now?
Well, yep. We'll kill a couple of minutes here. Floyd and I have been once again thrown to the wolves
Mm-hmm.
without a gun, without even a little slingshot that did slew Goliath. We just thrown out there, and we kind of give everybody a couple of minutes to kind of maybe try us again and get on with us. We are on now streaming, but
Ted Airy, my doctor friend Ted Airy says he still don't see us nowhere. He's and I don't see any kind of well, Mike Stewart, he's watching from Arlington. We're having some technical difficulties, if y'all will, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors. And the reason is that our friend, a good friend that helps us do this from time to time, when Marvin is out somewhere, it's new to him, and it was kind of thrust upon him at a late hour. But Marvin and Queasel are they're in a very, very important association meeting discussing community matters. So
Cody, check the audio, Cody. We're not going out. I'm not getting audio on us and on mine. Our video is there, but the audio is not there.
We got them coming in now. I said Dr. Airy said that we own now.
Okay.
So y'all just bear with us. This is something that is out of our. Marvin is the techno guy. He is the what you call the AI, the artificial information guy. He is the guy that keeps us going, that keeps all this thing going. And when you get, it's like when you're going down the road, and you're driving your car, and all of a sudden you hear this flapping sound, and then the right front goes down, and you hear this even louder noise, and that's that tire cap coming off. You got a problem. You got a pretty good problem. But then when you hear two at the same time, you have two missing components in a very important component of your automobile. It's like it is with this show. We have two very important components that are missing. But and Charlie and I have had very little time to prepare for this. You know, we have other things that we have to do. But maybe
in fact, we came together, if you will, just 4 minutes before, 5 minutes before the show went on, and I saw Floyd sitting there. And I said, "Where is everybody, Floyd?" "Oh, it's just me and you tonight. It's just me and you."
But listen, there's one thing about it. Here's the deal. You know, it's like anything else in life. It don't always work out just like you want it to. And what you do is it's like my daddy used to tell me when something wasn't going my way exactly like I wanted it to go, and I'd mope around and do this. And he said, "Son, let me tell you something." He said, "You done hold out to the end of that rope." And some of y'all know what hoeing is, but I'm gonna say put it in a more modern. You picked out to the end of the rope. He said, "Now what you need to do is grab you another rope and start picking on that one." So that's kind of what we're doing tonight. We on another rope. We picked out to the end of that rope, and we're grabbing us another rope and going to the other end. And when we get to the other end, we'll be done.
You may turn around and go partly back again. You never can tell.
That's it. Well, we got a lot of good folks watching in tonight. Mike Stewart, our good friend from Arlington, up there, Ted Airy, Dr. Ted Airy, and we may give him a call tonight. He has he keeps a tune. He keeps abreast of what's going on nationally, and I think he has some Secret Service information that he'd like to share with us, and also some if you're a senior citizen, some things that are free to you. And you always want to ask for that senior citizen discount. Or is that? I always ask people. I say, does that include the senior citizens discount? And they say, yeah, we already put that in, Floyd. So just pay what you owe. But we're with y'all tonight. Good to have Charlie with us. Me and Charlie hadn't talked to one another. I don't think I've talked to Charlie all week since last week. But we know what's going on around us, and Charlie's over in southeast Alabama, and I'm in southwest Georgia. Wouldn't want to live nowhere else on the planet. Would you, Charlie? Would you want to live anywhere?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Not Panama City, not Atlanta, not nowhere. Not Denver. No, New York City. And listen to me, if you live in New York City, or you live, especially if you live in San Francisco or Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, and you're considering moving, if you were living in San Francisco and you're considering moving, let me tell you what a good place for you to move to would be Portland, Oregon. Don't consider moving here. And if you're in New York City, a good place for you to move to would be San Francisco. Do not consider moving down here to Southwest Georgia, because we ain't got what you want. We have no idea how to live a life like you live it. So y'all just stay away from us. Let us tend to our business down. Y'all already think we don't know nothing, no way, that we all just a bunch of dumb hicks down here. So wherever y'all are, if y'all San Francisco, East Coast, West Coast, say where you are, or change coast. Don't come south. We ain't got nothing for you.
I think I'm going, and with that, let me say this. This is such a wonderful place to be. I don't think I'm even going to attempt to look at any news anymore, Floyd, because I watched my news leader tonight, and the biggest stories they thought going on that pertain to the folks that might watch the mighty Channel 4 or the mighty Channel 8 was giving you the new rules on driving golf carts in downtown Panama City, Florida. I'm not talking on the beach. I'm talking about old Panama City proper. We would just about give a prize out to anybody that would admit that they're going to go down there and drive a golf cart in downtown Panama City, Florida. And then we had the family over in Coffee County. There was a sinkhole. The car fell down in it. And now the city and the county wants to take responsibility. They're just looking for somebody to fix the car. And for all you folks that tune into the mighty Channel 4 in Barber County, Alabama, you will now know that your Walmart is back open after three little darlings set fire to it earlier in the week. Now, the popo up there knows who the darlings are, but I don't think they know where they are.
Oh, they've escaped. They slipped through the dragnet, if you will.
I mean, we might as well not even have news anymore.
They ought to be like they ought to be the law folks over there. They ought to be like the law folks over here and the people over here who's getting robbed in Miller County. I think we had it on a couple of weeks ago about a gentleman that he was from Thomasville, and he decided to come over into Miller County and rob a prominent farmer over here in Miller County who is about 6'6" and weighs about 275 pounds, and he wears overalls all the time.
How'd that work out? How'd that work out for him, Floyd?
The man decided to come back because this guy's got some good stuff, but it's his. He's worked it out. Him and his daddy's worked it out. And the guy from Thomasville decided to come back. He had an accident over here, Charlie. He fell down, skinned his head all up, skinned his face all up and everything. And they was trying to, help him get up, and he fell down again. But anyway, they hauled him off.
That when it happens?
Yeah, he's out of commission. So, they were there they were there to protect their property. And here's the deal with some of you folks that might be listening in, or some of you people out there who are kind of a little bit of bleeding heart folks. Them folks ain't gonna fare well over here. They're not gonna fare well. They're not gonna fare well in Southeast Alabama if you keep trying, because they're working too hard. They're working too hard trying to make a living and trying to pay for their stuff, and that's their stuff. So you may slip and fall down.
I got a message here on my timeline from Ziggy B. And I think this is something that needs discussing. We're discussing we didn't call names of the two that are not here tonight because we don't know why, and we weren't told why. Probably a government conclave, but Ziggy B said, I was supposed to be at an economic development workshop tonight, but dirt road sports is more important to me. You hear that? That? Let her go, boys.
Go, boys. That's what we're gonna do, Ziggy B. Because we know we got an audience. We got an audience that listens to us. We have opinions, and we have viewpoints. And that's what we do. And if you don't like our opinion, we do not care. We don't, go tune in somebody else. Like I said, tune in a rerun of Phil Donahue or The View. Turn that in. Tune that in. You're not going to see us on there. You're not going to see us on The View. But go watch something that you'll like, not us.
I want to hear something funny tonight from Floyd. I really do. I think I need a dose of laughing, whether it be about Cousin Bookie or whatever. So you get that ready. I want to get something out of the way. I guess that birthday I had last week has made me more cantankerous than I already was. But I am tired. I'm to the point, seriously, not going to watch the news anymore. And if Donald Trump comes on my TV, I'm going to hit mute. I'm tired of hearing him talk. As is, I'm tired of idiots being put on CNN and the other channels, like a fellow used to be in professional wrestling business by the name of Jesse the Body. I could say some other things about him, Ventura, but I won't. But his stupidity speaks for itself. And the people of Minnesota, we're proud to be down here, Floyd and I are. We're proud to live where we live, about 45 miles apart. We got bridges over the rivers. At least we don't have to live in Minnesota, where there's a bunch of morons that not only elected a loudmouth pro wrestler with nothing but liberal views as their governor, but they elected the idiot that's running with Kamala Harris as vice president. That state has produced two jewels, if you will. But Mr. Ventura, and I want to say for the Southern Professional Wrestling Group, like Ron Fuller and the Welch family, we would not want to be associated with him for this dumb statement. He was proud that he lived to see a black man in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And his greatest wish.
We've not had one there yet.
Yeah,
we've not had a black man.
Well, but he thinks we have. And he wants to see the first black female in the White House, which if they make a black female out of Kamala, there's going to have to be a lot of pigment put into the skin to change some colors, if you will.
Exactly. Hey, but they can claim to be anything, man. You got men pretending to be women. You got women pretending to be men. You've got white folks pretending to be black folks. You got every kind of change. You got men pretending to be dogs. And what I like for one of them to do is run out in front of a car and chase it. See how far they get along.
Yeah, that would be good.
But you're right. Charlie, speaking of Trump, I love Donald Trump. I'm voting for him. I
am too. I am. But I'm just tired of listening to it.
I'm trying to listen to it for 2 hours. Yeah, you don't need 2 hours to tell me, and you're not going to convince anybody at a rally, Trump. And I hope anybody that knows Donald Trump or can hook on with Donald Trump or can get a message to him. Now, me and Charlie's a South Alabama redneck. I'm a South Georgia redneck, but we know what goes on. We
got class.
We got class. We know what goes on. We know right from wrong. We know good from bad. And I wish some of y'all would tell him that he's not going to pick up one vote at a rally. Not one. Everybody that is at that rally is going to vote for him already. But when you get up there and start flapping your lips for 2 hours, telling people about how great you are, and he loses me, and I'm a Trump fan. It's like asking a man what time it is, and he starts telling you how to fix a watch, and that he's the only man that's ever had a watch like this, and it's the most expensive watch in the world, and nobody else has a watch like this. That's what it reminds me of. If he would just shut up that mouth of his, get to the point and say, next question. But he ain't going to stop. He's going to wrap. They were asking him a question today, Josh. Y'all know Kamala, one of the main things she's got on her mind now that she's going to discuss tomorrow. She's going to get all this economy back on track. She's for the working man. I'm here for the little man, if you will. She's going to control. She's going to price control. She's going to put price fixing, price controls, price caps on things. And one of those things that is in her eyesight is the beef industry. She's going to control the beef industry. And that is one thing, the only thing in agriculture that is a bright spot right now is the beef industry. And she's going to control it. But I'm telling you, she knows nothing about supply and demand. She knows nothing about how to produce anything other than one fabrication right behind another about how great she is and what she's going to do on day one.
Let me say this. And Floyd, when he says that he and I know a lot of stuff, we do because we listen and we're blessed with a lot of friends. And I want to bring this up. Out of all this political crap going on with any of them, I have not heard one political pundit talk about where our food comes from. It's called a farmer. Only 1% of the world population grows food. 1%. Now, we've been talking about how this year is going to be a bad year. And I have some evidence early in the game because we're not to peanuts and cotton yet. Pray the Lord blesses us with a rain where they can make something. But I heard a figure this week, and it's real. It's the real deal, as we call it. A man harvesting, combining his corn. The price of corn is the same thing he got when he was farming as a lot younger man in 1976.
Exactly right.
And in 1976, I haven't looked it up, but I'm going to dare say diesel fuel for a man on the farm in a non-taxable situation for tractors was probably 20 to 22 cents a gallon, if that much.
Yep.
Dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And these tractors, that they have to have big so they can work larger acreages of land to make things cash flow. Because a lot of cases they can't get labor that wants to work. Those tractors burn 200 gallons of fuel a day. That's $600 per tractor to put in the field. The fertilizer out the roof, seed cost, everything out the roof. But the price they got for their product was the same thing they got in 1976 when that $75,000 truck, four-wheel drive that they have to pull stuff around, it was $7,500.
Yeah, that was a stout truck, honey.
That was everything on it truck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the tractors and the equipment that you had to have. I mean, in the 70s, you could, had you a pretty good 4440. You could, late 70s, you could get you a brand new 4440 for about $25,000. That was a big tractor back then.
And a big tractor.
And a lot of people in the 70s, in the late 70s, I was running 4020s. And you could buy you a good used 4020 then for about $3,500 to $4,500. And now they are through the roof, man. I'm talking about you can't. It's unsustainable, Charlie. What these farmers are going through right now, it is unsustainable. And I'm not trying to depress anybody or any farmer out there. I don't have to tell y'all already know the truth. But these people, these people who are they determine they're going to vote for them a Marxist socialist. They think that's I heard them talking today. I heard this morning they were interviewing some people about why they were going to vote for Kamala and Stoltz or whatever his name is, Waltz, who's a straight lunatic. Go vote for them. They said that they got good vibes from them. I tell you what you do. Let me tell you what you do. You go to the grocery store down there and you fill that cart up. You fill it up with groceries. And you go up there and you check out and they say, you're standing there and they say, where's your card? Where's your money? So, I'm paying for this with vibes. I'll go down there and fill your car up with gas. And you get your hose out and you start saying, I got some good vibes. And you keep squeezing that nozzle and you see how much gas comes out of that. None. So that's where the vibes is going to get you. And that's where the feelings and the excitement is going to get you. You can't buy nothing with feelings, excitement, or vibes. Pay it for it, money. And either you're going to pay for it with money you got or you're going to charge it. And that's going to cost you even more.
And charge, I heard read the other day, where everybody's just about maxed out on them credit cards
Mhm.
because they've been absorbing this extra cost on the plastic. And when the plastic gets full, what you gonna do?
You cut off.
You
That
got off.
machine ain't gonna take it. They're gonna spit it back out. You say it's unacceptable. It's declined. But the guy in Minnesota, I want to talk about him a little bit if we may. Do we need to go to a break? Anything, Cody? You in charge? You call the shots. Whatever you want to do.
Throw us one up there
Throw
for
us one, and we
somebody
come
coming
back.
up.
We'll talk about Waltz a minute.
Suega Meats, I know the deal, him. Let me tell you. Fine, locally produced beef. They've also got some of the finest pan sausage, the finest link sausage. In fact, the inventory is so great at both stores, I can't go through all of it in 30 minutes, much less 30 seconds. But fine quality food products, you know where they come from? Check with our friends at Suega Meats, 27 between Blakely and Colquitt on 431 in Headland. And in Headland store, they've got the uh, great products from Working Cows Dairy, some of the great cheeses from out there, some of the best chocolate milk you will ever put in your mouth. And getting back to the meat part, great steaks. They've got whether you want a ribeye, a New York strip, great ground beef, all cuts of steaks and everything. If they don't have what you want in the counter, just tell them and they'll cut you steaks exactly like you like them. Suega Meat, 27 between Blakely and Colquitt and on 431 Headland, Alabama.
But we talk about Tim Waltz. He's a Kamala's pick for the vice president. And I tell you what he reminds me of. I remember back when I was young, a lot younger, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. We'd go to the fair, uh, and they'd always have some guy there. He'd be there, and he would be shucking and jiving, and he would be pumping this and pumping that, and telling you, come right on up and look at here, boy. Here she is. Watch her wiggle and watch her giggle right here, guys. Here she. That's what he reminds me of. Is a carnival barker. He's has the mentality of a carnival barker. That's what
Can
he
I
reminds
ask you?
me.
Can I
That's
ask you?
a good way to put him
Well,
at it.
now that you bring that up, I'm too young for it, but does she remind you of anything you saw at the
Yeah,
Tri-State Fair at Gray
exactly.
Hodges Park years
Ray
ago?
Harvey Park. Exactly right. That's about the same caliber. Some of you at my age might remember Dracula at Gray Hodges Park Fair. But anyway, he is
Woo.
a complete. He number one. He's a liar. He's a Marxist socialist. His wife, when he was allowing uh, Minnesota to burn to the ground, when they having the riots, the St. George Floyd riots, St. George Floyd riots. He refused to call in the National Guard, refused to send the police in to control any of the rioting and the looting. His wife his wife said, and I heard her say this with her own mouth, that she let the windows up to the house so she could smell and absorb the odor of the burning rubber with the city burning. That was exciting to her. That motivated her. The city burning down, she wanted to smell it. And I saw a video of him during the COVID deal and during the St. George Floyd riots and all that. They were in a very nice, looked like subdivision neighborhood, and coming down the street, it's on. You can check it out. They're coming down the streets with their armored cars and their tanks, and they have the police or the National Guard or somebody with their riot gear on. This is a nice subdivision. They're coming down the street. Now they weren't down there where the people were burning the city down and killing people and taking over business. They were coming through a suburban neighborhood with the bullhorn shouting for people to get back inside, get back. People were out on their front porch, and they started, and the people were saying, "What's going on? What's going on?" They started filming it, and the National Guard started firing paintballs at them to get them back into their house. Now that is 100% Nazism and Marxism. That's how that works. And y'all just a small dose of what you're gonna get when you get Kamala and Tim Waltz or Jim Waltz or whatever his stupid name is when y'all get them in. And he's the same man, he's the same guy that ordered grammar schools and high schools to put tampons in boys' restrooms in the schools. Now, how insane can you be with that situation? It don't get no more stupid than that. And these people that watch them, they say they get good vibes from him and Kamala. Oh, we get good vibes. That's why we're gonna vote for him. Man, it's nuts.
What we got to understand, Floyd, we got a whole world out there that thinks that way.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it could be over half of this country. This was posted today, and it tells the story of what this election is about, in my opinion. It was posted by United States Senator Katie Boyd Britt, as we know her around here. She's kind of local. What this election boils down to in November? 3 words. They all start with F. What other, Floyd?
What other? Freedom.
You got one. Faith is the number 1, family number 2,
Family,
and freedom number 3.
That's it. That's it.
And do you think any of these?
They are enemy number 1. They are,
Exactly.
and we are enemy. We are public enemy number 1 to them, Charlie. With their mindset, you people like you and I, and people like Katie Britt, we are public enemy number 1. They're gonna do everything in the world they can to destroy us.
That news bunch. I don't give a rat's rear end if I ever watch them again. But tonight and last night too, they're running packages from. They'll go to Washington and always putting down the Republican type deal and how Kamala and Broadway Joe are doing and everything. It's really sickening. And their feature tonight, one of the features tonight, I forgot to say this, was a lady from here a woman from here in Dothan. And she's going to the Democratic National Convention. She wants the people to know there are progressive thinkers in the state of Alabama. Now, what she wants to go there up there and say don't mean the rat's rear end, because Donald Trump's going to win Alabama. But, we're going to go with progressive.
Mm-hmm.
We're the Democratic Party. We're trying so hard in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It's good versus evil is the bottom line.
Bottom line. And like you said, at least half the people in the United States of America think just like she does. They think.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a former friend of mine this morning. He's a preacher. He's a holiness preacher, if you will. And he ran up with a black preacher in town several years ago that he knows well. And he tickled me the way he put his thing. I mean, he nailed him. He said, man, somebody messing with you. He's run up with him like at a little deli or something. He said, man, please. He said, somebody's playing some bad tricks on you, preacher. Talking to the black guy who professes to be a preacher. He said, what you talking about? What you talking about? He said, man, somebody done slipped out there to your truck and put a Obama for president sticker on the bumper of your truck. And he said, and here you are proclaiming to be a man of God, and you voting for Obama. He said, man, you need to get out there and tear that sticker off your truck. He said, I got it. Looked at him like that. He left. But that's a good way to put it, man. You gonna call yourself a man of God and you gonna vote for these people? You're a woman of God, of faith, and you gonna vote for these people who worship at the altar of abortion.
Remember this name from our audience. Let's see, who is this? Kevin Trent Kearns. It's now forevermore for you, Floyd. Tampon Tim. That's who's running for vice president. Tampon.
Yeah, I know Mr. Kearns. I know Mr. Kearns. Sure do.
Your buddy Ted Ayers said, Ted's going to pretty well call it like it is. He was talking about used to be a liberal, now progressive, disguised agenda. There you go.
He got it. He nailed it.
She was all for this, and now she's trying to get her best to the middle and a little bit to the right to pick up votes.
What I don't understand is when is day one for her? Day one, she's going to solve all of the inflation costs, all the inflation woes. Number two, she's going to solve all the problems at the border because day one, she's going to be able to do something. They hadn't been able to do that for 3.5 years. But that's what she's going to do, day one. And anybody that falls for that stuff, I'm going to tell y'all, you'll fall for anything at all if y'all fall for that mess. Let him throw us up another commercial at y'all. We're kind of running along here behind. Put us up once. Jiggy B's Seafood Market. I'm glad you put that one up. One of our most dedicated viewers, one of our best sponsors that we have, and one of the people that we are so proud to proclaim as being friends. She's a friend of this community, and she's a hardworking woman who's got a good business going here in Colquitt. If you want some good seafood, if you want some fresh seafood, you go see Ziggy B's right there on West Main Street in Colquitt, Georgia, right there by that big old Ford dealership. If you want you some good shrimp, if you want her to go in there, she'll cut you off a slab of salmon exactly like you want it. Ziggy B's Seafood Market in Colquitt, Georgia. One of our best friends, one of our best sponsors that we have in the world. Ziggy B's Seafood in Colquitt, Georgia.
Willie Brown's Lapdog, that's a new name coming in for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. She got everywhere she advanced in politics in the state of California, thanks to Willie Brown.
Yes, it.
Look here, Dr. Ted Airy down there, our good doctor from Albany, Georgia. I see he's tuned in. He's got some information to share with us. I think I'm gonna give him a call a little bit after a while. And let him share some things. He was sharing some things with me today that I had no idea that had happened. But apparently Dr. Airy has got connections with some information that I don't have, and that's pretty strong if he can do that. So Dr. Airy, I tell you what we're gonna do about after long about the time we get through with our trivia question. I'm gonna pick up the phone and give you a call, and you just stand by the phone. I'm gonna let you share some thoughts with us on some things you shared with me today.
Very, very, very good. Have you heard from you?
Hold on, just I'll tell you. The woman here, viewing him, Sheila Strickland, she said, I want a crawfish pie from there. I've heard they are excellent. I have heard that people testify about those things, that they are some kind of good. I've got one. I've got it in my freezer. I hadn't done it yet, but I may do that tomorrow night at crawfish pie from Ziggy B's.
Last time I was in there, I ran into Ms. Queasel in there. Ms. Queasel. And when it comes to food, Miss Queasel be number one. Mm-hmm. You don't argue with her because she's the best. She about the best cook I ever sat down at a table with. And she said that that crawfish pie was to die for. It was just the best thing in the world.
I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna throw mine out tomorrow. I'm gonna get Nadine one. We're gonna have some crawfish pie tomorrow night for supper. Man, please. I love living where I live. Don't you, Charlie? I love the people around here. You can call, and people know my voice when I call them on the phone. They say, "This Floyd?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
You want your regular Floyd? I said, "Yeah." So ain't nothing like it, man. I love this place. I wouldn't live. Me and Nadine talk about it. We wouldn't live nowhere else. And we are under the radar with these people. We are under the radar. They think we're a bunch of hicks. They think we don't know nothing. And they think that same thing about everybody that lives down here. So if you some kind of little tutti frutti liberal down here, and you think them Democrats in New York City or San Francisco think you got any sense, you are confused. They think you are just like we are. Everybody, a lot of people that think like we think, they just don't say it out loud. We say it out loud.
And if you coming up here to South Alabama, South Georgia, and you from the state of Florida, let me put a little disclaimer in. I know some of you folks down there selling land for $1 million an acre where somebody can get a part of paradise. And you take that $1 million, that little acre lot, you come up here, you buy you a nice home, and you live like kings and queens, and that'll be all right as long as y'all stay okay. But we don't give a rat's rear end how y'all did it down there around Orlando, Florida. So don't come up here and try to tell us how to live. Can I get an amen?
Amen, brother. That's what I just stay where you are. Don't come in. This is not going to be paradise for you. You're not going to like it. We wave at people, we blow the horn at folks, and wave at them and honk at them. We know them, holler at them across the town, across the street. We do things like that. And I know some of y'all, I could never do that. Ooh, but we
I
do.
know I know some people around here been guilty through the years of waving at statues on the side of the road.
Yeah.
That's a neighborly thing to do.
I thought that was old Joe Blow over there.
Well, who was that? Yeah,
Not a lie.
can't
But
make it
Charlie,
up.
you was asking me, well, I thought about a little something here. And since the preacher ain't on tonight, since the preacher and the deacon ain't on tonight, it's just me and you. And I'm looking
Whoa. Yeah. But I got an announcement on that too. Somebody done seen them at a meeting. Somebody done
uh-huh.
posted on mine that they saw the preacher at a meeting.
He is
And
at the meeting.
told him to get home quick. But since the preacher ain't on, let me give a review as I can of his Sunday morning sermon at Flat Creek Baptist Church. Now, I don't want any of the sisters out there Sunday morning when I come in to beat me over the head with a Bible or a songbook, but I'm just telling you, he sometimes can't reel himself back in like he should. He was preaching on the 23rd Psalm, and he was on the verse that says, "He restores my soul." And the preacher likes to get audience participation on these things when he what does restore mean? Brother, what does restore mean to you? And somebody say this and somebody say that. Well, it's kind of like, ladies, when you take your makeup off at night and you just there. In the morning, you put new makeup on, you are restored. He says it kind of reminds me of the fella that said to another fella, "I just don't understand why these older women wear so much makeup." And the fella replied to him, "Never seen an old barn that couldn't use a new coat of paint."
That's what Marvin said in church.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now,
Good, not a lie. He don't know when to draw the line, Charlie. Crazy. I need a shot collar. We need a shot collar for him. And me and you
had
need
that
to have
been
a
at a big,
result.
had that been at a big city church, they would have stoned him before he could get out of the pulpit.
He wouldn't have never left there. He wouldn't have never left there unscathed. I'm telling you.
I wanted to say, "Time out, Marvin. Don't go there no more." But and let me say this. It was the best sermon I've ever heard on the 23rd Psalm. Bottom line.
He preaches a song. He'll get off at it. He's like Trump. He'll get off at it and go to rambling around off out in there. He'll get out the pen, and go to rambling around, and he'll finally find his way back to the open gate, come back in the pen, and finally play it down. But I tell you what, let's do. I tell you what, I got me a ton of trivia questions tonight, Charlie. Other ones me and you talked about. Let's go to our hissy fit folks there, if you will, Cody. Let's start talking about it. Hissy Fit, Colquitt, Georgia. Some of the best products and personalized products that you'll have anywhere, that you'll find anywhere in Colquitt, Georgia, right over there on the southwest corner of the square in Colquitt, Georgia. They will fix you any kind of shirt, jacket, monogram, design, any kind of company caps, logos. They've done some work for me with my appraisal business, and bar none, it's the best I've seen anywhere. They know how to do it. They'll do it exactly like you want to do it, and they'll try it 2 or 3 times, and they'll come up with exactly what you want. Go see them at the Hissy Fit store here in Colquitt, Georgia. They got pocketbooks, they got jewelry, they got antiques, they got anything that you want personalized in there. They can do it for you. This cup right here, this is my ag appraisal cup right here. I got them to do them for me exactly like I want them. I got another one with some cows on it. I give them to my banker friends and farmer friends. They love them. So y'all go see them at the Hissy Fit store. But I got a trivia question for y'all tonight. And some of you gonna know what I'm talking about. Some of you ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. Here's a trivia question tonight. This really ain't a trivia question. This is just a question, if you will. If a man's name is Junior, What do you call his namesake? If a man's name is Junior, what do you call his namesake? Yo, let me know. Somebody tune in. Charlie knows.
Wow.
You had an epiphany when you come up with that one, didn't you?
I had an epiphany a while ago, and we'll give you one of those car tags like we popped up there a while ago. You'll get there you go. You'll get a car tag, and Miss Lavon Nichols, I got your tag. I'm gonna give it to Miss Rojo tomorrow. She's gonna come spend the night with us, and you'll have it this weekend. You'll have your car tag this weekend, Miss Lavon. I promise you. But if a man's name is Junior, what do you call his namesake?
Well, we got something to settle with the lawyer tonight when we get through with this. You know what he done posted? You know what he done posted?
I don't.
Slim Pickens.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll remember that.
Yeah.
Ain't got nobody that can't catch on to. That's a trick question now. It really is a trick question if you're listening to it. If a man is Junior, what do you call his namesake?
And I've heard of it too. I know where one is.
He's real.
Yeah.
Junior's real and his namesake's real. Yeah, man, y'all so far off. Come on. Y'all so far. Brandon Lane, get out. Go back to the biscuit bottom. You ain't even close, man.
Oh me.
Ain't nobody, their mind's in a fog, Charlie, tonight. If a man's name is Junior, and y'all know a bunch of them, what is his name?
They've been trying to follow the speeches of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris today and understand what was being said by both, and that's why they're so confused tonight.
So, you're on the wrong end, Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite. Go
That's
south.
Dynamite. He dialed in, Dynamite. Look at how I'm telling y'all something. One thing, a good friend of mine, and Dynamite's passed away, and Rojo's. He passed away a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Gerald Pearlie Franklin. He died at his home, suddenly died at his home. He was 72 years old, 73 years old, and died at his home. We're going down there tomorrow night in Bainbridge. He lived in Bainbridge, grew up in El Dorado down there, grew up in a welding shop in El Dorado down there, and he what you got? There he is, Debbie Womble. Debbie Womble's
Junior.
Yeah, Junior. If a man's name is Junior and his son's named after him, his name is Junior. So that's him. Debbie Womble, you get the car tag, girl. Text me your address, and I'll make sure you get you one right there. Junior.
Go ahead.
Junior. About Junior. We've used Junior. But anyway, we're going down there to Pearlie's funeral. Is a celebration of life tomorrow night in Bainbridge, Georgia. Be at 6:30. Any of you out there that might be listening, if y'all remember Gerald, he was always a fixture in Colquitt, Georgia, back in the late 60s, early 70s. He was a great musician, played the drums. He could wear them out. He played the drums with the Sugar Daddy Band, and I'm sure some of you, and he could still play them. He was a great musician. He loved music. He could sing good. If any of y'all are interested in going to his celebration of life tomorrow night, be down at Cox Ivy Funeral Home in Bainbridge, Georgia. And you'll Pearlie, that's him, Tony Dave. Called him Pearlie. And Pearlie Franklin. He was, everybody knew him. If y'all want to go in and probably meet some of his old friends, meet some of your old friends you hadn't seen in a long time, probably going to be a lot of people down there. So y'all go down there to that. But he was a great guy. And he was mine, and he was the best man at mine and Nadine's wedding. That's how far back we go, in 1972. I think I first encountered Pearlie around 1967 or 68. He started coming to Colquitt young. He was, but he fit right in. Him and Bear Calhoun, they were big buddies, and he was buddies with everybody. But anyway, hey, let me tell you what, life goes on, and it's and time waits for no one. And I'm gonna tell you something that what the scripture says. So there's a time for everything. There's a time to live and a time to die. And remember this: when your number is called, you better hook up because you're fixing to go. No matter where you are or what you're doing. But y'all just be ready. Be ready. Get your heart right. Get your mind right. And be ready for when he comes. But And we got anything else? Anybody else we need to talk about? Any other commercial? Anything we need to put up there, Cody, tonight? If you have got one, put it up. But go ahead with that, John.
He has been. I know he's been busy, and he just kind of tuned in late. I'm sure that Richard Childress has has gotten the word, and I'm sure Richard probably has hired our lawyer Shingler, Billy Shingler, to go up and get his grandson out of this trouble with NASCAR. I feel like that's what's happening. But folks, you're going to need a lawyer at some point in your life. Something is going to happen. You're going to need an attorney. Give Shingler Law Company a chance, whether it be a will, whether it be an accident. You need an attorney for an accident, even divorce, whatever the case may be. You won't find a better guy to deal with than Billy Shingler, Shingler Law, and he is there to serve you. Just give him a call, 229-524-1225 in Donaldsonville, Georgia, serving all of Southwest Georgia.
Amen. He's a good one. I tell you, a lot of people depend on him for their law work. And like Charlie said, you're going to need you a banker, you're going to need you a lawyer, and you're going to need an undertaker at some point in your life. That's three people that you are definitely going to need. Hopefully, no time soon. But anyway, Charlie, the sister preacher and the deacon's not here tonight. I got a bookie story. And then they ain't a cuss word. Listen to they ain't a cuss word in it. Not a cuss word in it. But now, I use terminology in my stories, and it's nothing vulgar or nothing ugly. It's just according to what's going on in your mind. See, you need to you need to you need to you need to get your mind right if you go listen.
I was going to ask the question, Floyd. Did you get your mind right before we went on tonight?
Bookie, my cousin Bookie, and everybody's got a like a Bookie in their family. And I got a cousin named Bookie, and Bookie, he learned how to talk with dip of snuff in his mouth. Hey, Grandma Min, she dipped snuff, and Bookie wanted, and Bookie's always he was whining, he was carrying on all the time, and the only way she could get any control out of him, give him a dip of snuff. He get that dip of snuff, he go around, he calm down. You know, that's how snuff and tobacco, chewing tobacco, cigarettes and all does, folks. They calm them down. Y'all seen folks, man, I got to have a cigarette. I got to have a cigarette now. And they get them a cigarette and they go, oh man, everything's all right now. Well, that's the way it was with Bookie. He was running around everywhere, you know, and so Grandma Min gave him some snuff. So he talked, he had some thumb in his mouth. And Grandma Min did that railroad meals snuff. They didn't even have no cowboy snuff back then in the little can, you know, pinch. Get him a deal. He get him a charge. Bookie always had him a charge of snuff in there. He talked like then. He get him a big charge of that snuff, and he'd go to talking, he'd go poof it out on it, and blow it up. So we had a dime store here in Carl, and the dime store had a candy counter in it. It had a candy counter in there. And you know the candy counters at these dime stores used to be massive. I mean, they'd have all kinds of candies, chocolates, coconuts, chocolate covered cherries. They'd have, and then on one end down there would be the nut section down there where you had pecans, you had peanuts, you had cashew nuts, you had mixed nuts down there. And Bookie go in there, he went in there, he had him a craving for him some nuts one day. So, and the dime store folks had hired this man with this great big old nose. It stuck out like a cucumber out. His nose was so big. And he was real self-conscious of his nose, you know. Well, who wouldn't? I mean, he take that thing, they swing around with him, you know, big old nose like that, where they kind of hang down, you know, like that. You don't know, they hired him at the candy counter. So Boogie goes in there, yeah, what you got? And he said, I want them some of them nuts. He said, I think I want me some of them cashew nuts. What they run? And what they run means how much do they cost, is what he said. Yeah, what they run? And the man said, well, sir, said the cashew, the old man with the big old nose, you know, sticking that. He said, well, sir, said the cashew nuts are and this was way back in the 60s, and back then, he said, well, sir, the cashew nuts, they're $1.25 a pound. Look at $1.25 a pound for cashew nuts. The man, them nuts is high. So anyway, man, well, sir, that's what they are. He said, well, he said, going down, he said, what about some of them pistachio nuts you got there? I'm talking about pistachios there. What they going? How much are they? The old man with the big old nose, he said, well, sir, those are $1.10 a pound. $1.10 a pound for pistachio nuts. Them some high nuts. So the master, well, I'm sorry, sir, that's what they are. He going down, he gets on down to the pecan. How much them pecans at a pound? He said, what they run? The man said, well, the pecans, sir, are 75 cents a pound. That's a pound for pecan. Man, some high nuts. He get on down there. Look, he said, how much is them? What do you get with them mixed nuts there over there? Man said, sir, those are 25 cents a pound. He said, well, let me have about a quarter of a pound of them mixed nuts. The boy scooped them out. He give me 10 cents or whatever. And the man was standing there. The man said, sir, I just want to tell you, I hope you had a pleasant, encounter with me here today. He said, it's been a pleasure serving you today. And so I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, sir, for not commenting on my nose like it is being so high. He said, your nose and your nuts is so high. I thought it was your pepper.
Oh.
We all grown. Everybody's grown. There ain't no youngers watching this thing. Anyway, if y'all want to throw me off, be fine. But I done that because the preacher ain't here and the deacon ain't here because they get in trouble. I know the church folks is gonna get on to them about it, but see, they get on me and I don't care. It don't bother me. But anyway, it's funny. I don't care who you are now. That's funny, right? That is funny.
Cousin Bookie.
No, but he can get it done now.
There might be. He might have to stop back by the peanut stand in Tumbleton, Alabama, and get him some of them Cajun ball peanuts.
Yeah, amen, brother. That was before they come out with them. Good Lord, have mercy. So I hear one. Jiggy B says she can't breathe. Lord have mercy. Ain't nothing. It's the truth. I mean, we're gonna know, still. Oh Lord. Well, look here, Nadine got a laugh out of it, so that's all that matters. I hope y'all enjoy that. I hope y'all see what they do to me. See, they put me up to stuff like this. See, Charlie put me up to this. See, there's normally
whoa. Your landscape professional might have put you up to it, but I didn't.
Oh, have mercy, no.
You have not mentioned your landscape professional lately.
Had him here today. Had him right here today. Yes, sir. Okay. Had him here today. Cut the grass. All he wanted to do today was get on that riding lawnmower and cut the grass. And I said, that's fine. That is fine, Leo. It's too hot. I went and got him this morning about 8 o'clock. We got on out here and got the grass cut. And I took him on back home. And he had him enough today that he could go over there to Walgreens and shop with Walgreens on his bicycle with his big basket on the front. So he had it made. Because I saw him later on at the bank in Cockwood, up at First State Bank. He come in, and that lady, I said, here's one of y'all main customers. She said he done been in here 3 times today.
Did he have enough to buy a 15-pack with when he left?
Yeah, I don't know how much he had, but he was dressed like, man, he had one of them Puerto Rican shirts on. He had him a little cap on there. He looking nice. He had cleaned up. He had took him a good cold shower, warm shower from riding that lawnmower this morning. Mm-hmm. But look at that. I'm glad the preacher was. That's the only reason I done it, Ziggy B. The preacher wasn't here. Because I ain't going to get him in trouble. I ain't going to get the preacher in trouble if I can hit him.
wherever he and his associate may be. Like,
Yeah,
we have no idea. We have no idea.
No idea. I don't know where they are. I reckon the meeting's still going on or something. I have no. What you reckon how many you reckon how many chairs is getting thrown around in that meeting tonight? Folks standing up and snatching chairs around and doing it. There ain't no telling what's going on. They had a meeting up there with a bunch of folks tonight. There ain't no telling what's transpired up there. I hope we hear from them in a little while. I hope we hear. See, it started at 6:30. The meeting started at 6:30. You know what time it is now? It's 9:00. They're still at the meeting. That's 2.5 hours of meeting. I just got the preacher here. She done chimed in. I'm watching. Gene Watson.
You in trouble now?
I'm in trouble. I get out of it though. They'll forgive me. Hey, everybody got. Hey, Lord said, forgive. So y'all forgive. Enjoy it. Laugh like you ain't never laughed before, but forgive me.
Oh man. It's about time for Floyd's. Well, no,
And we still got some more ads we got to run. We ain't run.
That's right.
TK, I do TK's Bar and Grill. Great place to go. I was in there last night. Got to say that catfish fillet plate, wonderful. And we had company tonight. And Ziggy B, I'm gonna come and see you tomorrow and get my shrimp. But tonight we had to change up. They wanted some fried catfish. And it was too hot for me to get out there and fry them. I had to come and bought me some of them good fresh fillets from you. But I went to TK's Bar and Grill, got us some fried catfish fillets and some of the best French fries, home fries you ever had in your life. They loved them, didn't they, Nadine? They loved them. It was Nadine's sister and her daughter was over here visiting with us. They said we can't remember when we had some good fried catfish. But got them at TK's Bar and Grill. Fillets, and they were outstanding, never failed. You're going to never get a bad meal at TK's Bar and Grill. Go see them right here in Cockwood, Georgia. Going north on 45, right out of Cockwood, Georgia. You cannot miss them.
District 9, folks. Always remember your Second Amendment rights. Exercise them. If you do not have protection in your home or your vehicle, you need to look into getting protection, learning how to use it in the event you need it. The way things are going in this country, we got to protect ourselves. Holster 9 has anything you might need when it comes to pistols, long guns. Here we are in the middle of August, 15th day of August. That means that, guess what? Hunting season is not too far around the corner. Everything you need for hunting, everything you need for your home protection, you'll find at the Holstered 9 there in Colquitt, Georgia. Also, they got some great prices on guns, on ammunition, and anything you might need. Check out the Holstered 9 today. Floyd hunting season is just about here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Me and Nadine today we saw about 100-pound doe on Flamingo Boulevard here. Well, I saw her this morning and saw her again this afternoon. So she took up in the neighborhood. I'll tell you what she's done. She's found her some water and she's found her some food somewhere. But she's here. She's here with us. But Charlie, I tell you what I want to do right now. I want to call our good friend Mr. Ted Airy up in Albany, Georgia. I told him he's got some things he wants to share with us. We got plenty of time. If Marvin and Queezer want to chime in, that'll be fine. If they still tied up in that meeting, no problem. We want to utilize our audience and get them involved in what we do. I'm gonna call Dr. Ted Airy and see what's going on with him. See if he can share some insight into what's happening around the country and in Dougherty County, Georgia.
Mr. Floyd Lee Lloyd, may I help you, please?
Yes, my friend. I know this call is very important to you, so please stay on the line. My friend Ted Airy in Albany, Georgia. He lived in Albany and then he moved to Panama City and then he had an epiphany to move back to Albany, Georgia. Everybody got to be somewhere, but that's where he is right now. Dr. Airy, good talking with you. I have not spoken with you in a few days there. You and I have communicated back and forth with news items back and forth online here and sharing with one another. And in fact, two things I want to talk to you about is you uncovered some information about the Secret Service that was when they tried to assassinate Trump. You've uncovered that. And another thing you've uncovered is, and I hadn't was totally unaware of it, is some of the perks that senior citizens can get. So I wish you would go kind of dial us in, if you will, on the information you have on one of the Secret Service agents up in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Let me tell you something funny. My grandson, 12, I told him 3 weeks ago, I said, look, we're going to look at some history tomorrow. So we went up to the Trump rally and actually got in ahead of about 4,000 people by meandering. But anyway, he says, Poppy, that's that girl that couldn't get her gun in the holster.
She's there. She's still protecting him.
Over there. She was over there.
He's
Anyway.
and how old is he, Dr. Airy?
He's 12. He's 12. So he got his eyes and ears full. We bought popcorn and watched the show, son. It was a lot of stuff going on.
Well, let me ask you a question, Ted. Before you went to the rally, who was you going to vote for president?
Yeah, my mind was not changed. For sure.
That's what I'm talking about. But enlighten us on some news you heard about one of the Secret Service agents at the
in the
shooting.
last few hours, it's come out through three folks talking about it. That just a few weeks after this gunman came within an inch of assassinating, they've had another incident in North Carolina a day or two ago, Asheville. And so the site man, now, they talked about the site man in Butler, Pennsylvania. He was not there, or they didn't meet or something. Well, now they got the site man looking, and he goes in a place. He's doing the walkthrough. It's just before Trump gets to the arena. He's doing a walkthrough, and he opened the door where Trump would be taken if something happened. Very important room, and there's a woman breastfeeding off her post. She's not at her post, told no one about it, and didn't get anybody to take her place, according to these people.
Because she's a Secret Service agent, and she's breastfeeding her baby.
Breastfeeding.
Let me hold that train of thought right there. Let me ask you this: what business does an infant have at a political rally whose mother is there with a loaded gun that she's supposed to be protecting one of the most powerful men in the world? What business? How can you create a situation where that is okay? How does all of that happen to you?
I don't know. It's like, when you look at somebody that stole your money or not giving you the right change, is it stupidity or is it larceny?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. If you give somebody up here, if your bill's $10.35 fast food and you give them a 20 and 35 cent, they will tell you they cannot take the 35 cent. They got to take it out of the 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is the generation you've got. In her mind, that was important, but it's hard to believe. I mean, you're dealing with a serious thing with a candidate,
Well, and the child's mother, I presume. Yeah, that's it, John. I presume it was a woman. Now, was this a Secret Service agent or a woman that was breastfeeding the infant?
Maybe Pete Buttigieg is in the Secret Service now.
Exactly right. He's big on breastfeeding. He's big on breastfeeding. Who is?
And what comes into this, you're beating around it a little bit, is this Title IX that Biden has pushed on us, and 27 states are opposing it, so it's not in the law yet. But sex equals gender identity.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 8 years old. You don't have to tell your mama a thing. You can take puberty blockers, have your teacher tell you whatever. Mm-hmm. It throws the rights of the parents under the bus.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like the Olympian. Y'all listen to me. The gold medal boxing Olympian, women's boxing gold medalist is a man. Now, all right. Some of you women's lib people who offer women's rights. Where are you? I've heard nothing from Hillary Clinton, or Kamala, or Nancy Pelosi. Right. I've heard nothing from any of them. And Jane Fonda. Where's Jane Fonda in all of this? When you got a man standing up there pummeling a woman, and he's pretending to be a woman, and she is a real woman, and he steals her gold medal. Now, how can you celebrate that? I wish you could explain that to me.
That's right.
Can't do it. Well, look here, Ted. Let me ask you something else. You gave me some information about some senior citizen programs that I was unaware of.
So I had read this several years ago, and I'm all in the market for something free, so I couldn't believe that'd be true. So the rule in Georgia is you can go to college, you can get a degree, whatever you want to do. If you're over 65 and it's free. This isn't advertised, so I wouldn't tell anybody. We don't want nobody telling it. But anyway, it's some hoops to jump through because the applications are not made. There's no line on there that says I'm 65 and I want it free. So this is kind of like under the table, I would guess you'd call it. You need to know that, well, first of all, let's talk about why would somebody want to do this? Well, unless you want your brain just to collapse. When you get 65, you better be putting some new information in it. That's
right. Amen, bro.
And so you need to know that the Amendment 23 is what you're going to go to the college and say, I want to go to school here with the Amendment 23 waiver application, and they can get that. And you fill that out, and it'll be a few weeks. That'll go through, and then you got to do your immunizations. I was pleased to learn they are not letting you in college without an MMR. So hopefully we won't have a measles outbreak in Albany. If you're born before 1957, you do not have to have an MMR. If you're after 57, you got to prove you had it. But she said, if you had it, I said, yes, ma'am, I had it. I'm 71. I said, yes, ma'am, I had measles 61 years ago.
How's she gonna disprove that?
Yeah, that's right. They let me slide.
So you're gonna get another free college education?
Yeah, I took a history course and a creative writing course, and I decided I'd take online, do that online, and so I'm having to do got to learn how to do some computer stuff, turning in papers and having a camera with some class, and that's.
Well, get your 12-year-old grandson to help you.
Yeah, that's right. They know everything. Mm-hmm. You just get an iPhone. Mm-hmm. So anyway, all is good. Let's keep our brains smart, keep stuff going in our head and go vote Republican.
Keep communicating with me, Teddy. Keep communicating. You're one of my main sources of information that I go to every day. So
hey, you know what? I was thinking about you saying when things go wrong, they will, and you got to be ready for any change. Nadine used to tell us that before we went off on these swamp gravy trips.
Yep.
She would say anything can go wrong.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
Big talking to, and then when a guy in the audience started shouting our lines back at us, we weren't the least bit upset.
That's right. Keep rolling, baby. Got to keep rolling. Keep the show going. That's what Charlie and I do pretty often here when we're out here, on our own, right. Treading water. That's what we do. Dog paddling. We keep going. You got to keep going. You got to go. You got to get that up. You got to catch that other row and go and go to picking on it, baby.
Motion. Yeah. You got to advance with some forward motion.
Thank you, Ted. Buddy, thank you for calling. Thank you for dialing in. Thank you for listening to us. Always, we love you, buddy.
Okay, to you too.
You got it. Teddy Area, great guy, a wonderful guy, smart man. He got a good book out. It's called what is that? There's some kind of gospel book that he's got. It's Hellfire, Brimstone, and Fried Chicken.
That's right.
That's some great stories from a great America. Ted Area, one of the best friends I got in the whole world, right there. He's a good guy.
Always interesting to hear his thoughts. I just don't understand, Mr. Ted. Don't take this wrong. Panama City back to Albany. Mm-hmm.
There's a deep story there. He needed to do it. He needed to do it. It was important that he do it. He did it really out of sacrifice. But it's something that needed to be done, and he did it. And I admire him and respect him for it because he and his wife and his daughter they've climbing a mountain. And
but he's close enough to reality where he can dip in and dip out.
He can come down to Colquitt. He comes to Colquitt. He'll drift through here, and then he's also still got his place in Panama City, so he can go down there. And I don't know what are you getting away from when you go to Panama City? You're not getting away from noise. You're not getting away from crowds. You're not getting away from being scared to get out amongst folks. So what are you getting away from when you go to Panama City?
Nothing that I could imagine.
Well, I tell you what they do. One thing I noticed, and it's been several years since Nadine and I have been down there. Back Beach Road. We go Back Beach Road. She has a niece that's got a house at Bitterweed, and she allowed us to go down there and stay a few days. back and forth up and down Back Beach Road. You know what I said? Front Beach and Back Beach Road. They got your Olive Garden, they got your Red Lobster, they got your Lone Star Steakhouse, all that. We ride by that. We was going down there to the grocery store to get us, or the fish market, get us some shrimp to come back to the house and boil and eat us some shrimp and have us a good salad and have us some good French bread, to go with it. And I'm looking out there to the left out there on Back Beach Road. I'm looking out there and I see them out there, lines of them at the Golden Corral, lines of them at the Lone Star or the Outback or whatever it was. Can't remember. Lines of them waiting.
That's right.
At least an hour and a half wait to get in there to go and eat a steak that they probably was 90% of them. They was an Outback Steakhouse within 15 minutes of where they lived, where they come from. And they there an hour and a half to go in the Outback Steakhouse. Same thing with the Golden Corral or wherever, the Olive Garden or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, man, how crazy do you have to be to leave a perfectly good place where you are, comfortable home, get on the road, get in traffic, and go to Panama City Beach, Florida. You can't go nowhere. You can't park nowhere. You can't do nothing while you down there without running into somebody.
Let's add, if you will, add to the mix. You're going to sit on a wood bench outside like tonight with a temperature 80-something degrees, heat index probably 90, at least 95 down there, if not more. You know how it is down there, sticky. Your rear end's going to pure and stick to the bench, and you're going to be sweated down waiting for a seat to go eat. At just what Floyd said, the place is 15 minutes from your house.
Lone Star, something. Yeah. There ain't no more. It's hard to find, very hard to find now. The mom and pop stores down there, they gone. But that's what used to be Panama City. That was the drawing card. You could go down there, man, and you could get around, you could stir around, you could find you a good nightclub somewhere, a good band playing somewhere, some good cocktails, air conditioning out the yang. I'm talking about it freeze you. It was colder than your mother-in-law's love in them zip joints. You could get in there and have a good time. And you can't do that no more down there.
No.
You can't do it. And then going down to the beach down there, man, please, who in the world wants to sit around down there 110-degree heat index down there?
I can tell you, they're all from up around Atlanta, Knoxville, Tennessee, Kentucky, because they're coming through here every day of the week.
You said, LaVon Nichols said, she said they're flying in from everywhere all over the world. 2-hour wait for a restaurant now in Panama City. No, thank you. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Me and Nadine gonna stay here on Flamingo Boulevard if we can, But I got one more little thing I want to talk about. Y'all ask you a question about. I'm gonna ask you, when have you seen Hunter? When have you seen Hunter?
I saw Hunter do the no-show deal that time. And then I saw Hunter in and out the courtroom. Now here, they've got some more evidence on Hunter taking $1 million from an out-of-country company. But I ain't seen Hunter. Is that answering your question?
I ain't seen Hunter. Hunter, I think Hunter is what you call now persona. What is that? The mafia used to call him persona non grata. That means you are not welcome here, because you see, Hunter ain't got nothing to sell no more. See, his product has stayed too long. His shelf life has expired, and Hunter's product was Joe Biden. He was selling Joe Biden, but Joe Biden now, his expiration date has been stamped, and they have taken him off the shelf. So he
That's
has.
it.
That's it. She went in there clothesline Joe. She clotheslined him, and she gave him an offer he could not refuse.
Exactly.
And he took it. He had to, because they give him some money. He's well scouted. Because Hunter's got to have an extended source of income. Because when you go through $800,000 a year in hookers and porn stars and cocaine, your money gonna run out pretty quick. Don't care who you are.
You gotta have a good salary to do that every month.
You gotta have a steady source of income. So you ain't gonna be satisfied unless you can live that kind of life. But Hunter, I'm telling you, they had got tired of covering for Hunter and Joe. They got
Yeah.
tired of covering for them. It was a one, and the news media had got somewhat weary of them. They finally saw the light. They saw an out, and they'll take any out. They like a rat off of a sinking ship. The news media is. So they honed in on Kamala and Waltz. So that's the new babies. That's the new the people who excite people now. But it's
Well,
gonna all come to an end one of these days. It's gonna all come to an end November the 5th, one way or the other.
I just hope it's our way,
I
or
hope it's our way.
it's gonna come to an end forever and ever. Amen. Other way.
Mhm.
You agree?
I agree, 100%. It's gonna come to a screeching halt, and it's gonna come to it's gonna be and all you people, some of you people up there on Martha's Vineyard and in New York City, y'all already seen it because 20% of the hotels in New York City is occupied by an illegal alien that you and me and Charlie Platt paying for. So how long is that going to keep? How long is that going to last? How long can you keep giving somebody a free luxury hotel room in New York City? How long is that money going to last, Charlie?
And some little cards to go eat on.
Free money.
Yeah, you gotta have free money. You
And
gotta have
medicine,
telephone.
doctor and medicine costs you nothing. Telephone costs you nothing. Internet
No,
costs you nothing. Nothing costs you nothing. You don't have to pay for nothing.
no. All you
All
gotta
you
do
got
is
to do is wake
illegally
up and
come
breathe. That's
across the
all you got
border.
to do is wake up and breathe. So, well, I don't believe our guys is going to join us tonight, Charlie. So there ain't nothing. We were trying to run the clock out on them. Thought maybe they would chime in, but ain't heard nothing from them. But
No,
like it is, country boys can't survive.
I see it. So it's
Country,
about time for Floyd B. Lloyd's list of impossibilities from our folks at Berry Hill Auctions. Berry Hill Auctioneers have been with us since day one. We appreciate him. He is a fine fella. If you have a auction you need done, always contact Berry Hill Auctioneers. Floyd's buddy for many, many, many years, including some foreign adventures that we know maybe one night hear a little bit more of. In fact,
we'll get on
he need
TC on one night. Yeah,
TC needs to
great
check
idea.
in and do a story on Floyd, and we'll
Uh-huh.
mute you so you cannot disagree with him. You cannot deny what he
Hey,
might be saying.
nothing but the truth, man. I
Nothing
can
but
tell a
the
story
truth.
on one of them named one of them Muslims over there named Omar, but we'll get along. We'll talk about that.
Is
Omar,
that
Omar. He was a
Omar the tent
Kenyan.
maker?
He was a
Oh,
Kenyan. No, he didn't make no tent. He didn't have no sense to do nothing. Anyway, I think he was kin. I think he was kin to Obama, but he was a Kenyan, so he probably kin. But
yeah.
just got a short list tonight on it for impossibilities. Here's what impossibility. Here's an impossibility that Jill Biden will ever be on the cover of Vogue magazine again. See, she's right in there with Hunter. See, Jill is no longer she's no longer acceptable. Impossibility that anyone on the planet is more phony than Kamala Harris.
Mm.
Impossibility that the Harris Waltz campaign will ever have a cyber attack. See what I'm saying? See, Trump had one. Trump and Musk had one the other day when Trump was going to do his interview with Musk. Had a cyber attack. Ain't that convenient? Cyber attack. But Waltz and Kamala won't never have one. Impossibility that Hunter Biden will ever sell one of his paintings for more than $29.95.
That includes the frame.
That frame includes custom framing. Impossibility is that Hillary Clinton's underwear drawers smell like anything other than boiled rutabagas. Anything. It's an impossibility that Stacey Abrams' underwear drawers smell like anything other than a sack of wet squirrels. Impossibility that Joe Biden can go 8 hours without having a bowel evacuation in his depends. I'm doing.
Oh, Floyd is on it tonight. Boy, oh boy. I don't know about getting his mind right. If he got right enough or not, I think he got pretty right tonight.
I got right
Uh,
tonight.
Kelly Crop Insurance helps us each week on the program, and they, folks, they know what's going on as far as what's happening with our farmers. We do have chances of rain in this forecast. Let me give you the good news. That's not up there, but the good news is we do have some chances of rain coming in. Hopefully, it will materialize. Sunday's going to be our best shot at 40%. And we got a little 20% chance for Saturday, 20% chance for Saturday night, 40 for Sunday and Sunday night as a little frontal disturbance comes our way. Hopefully that thing will settle in and get us some much needed rain. Right now, it's 85 degrees with a heat index of 90. That's at the Dothan, Alabama airport, and I guarantee it's not a 2 degree difference between here and Colquitt, Georgia. But we appreciate you folks tuning us in each Thursday night. Glad to be back. Missed last week, and then we have two more absent tonight. They will get demerits on their report cards for not being here without prior notice that they weren't going to be here. But when you're dealing with government, folks, there's just no way to know what to expect or when to expect it. We had a laugh or two. We talked some serious stuff tonight, and I'm gonna get just as serious as I can be. I've said this about every week for the last almost 3 years, or 4 years. Last 4 years we've been on. This country's in a mess. I am not an authority on anything, but I am on some things pretty well versed. And I'm gonna compare what's happening in this country to what a world I used to be a part of. It's called professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is an illusion. It's a visual and mental illusion of what people perform and get you to buy or not buy. We're in that situation with politics these days. You got the Democrats just saying what all they can do, what all they're going to do. They've had the last 3.5 years to do these things, and they have not even attempted any of it. Then you've got Trump that is more talking than he should be. He does too many interviews, and so do the Democrats. There's no action from anybody that Trump can't. Republicans have the House. They don't have the Senate and the presidency, which is the most important part of it. But unless we make the right decisions in November, the little fun we have on Thursday nights is going to be over with. I hate to say it, but that's just what I see coming. What we need to do is get down on our knees and humble ourselves, as the Bible says, repent of our sins. And we ain't talking about the folks that might be that know nothing about God or anything spiritual. We're talking about the folks that claim to be Christians. They're the ones that need to get down on the knees, our knees, and pray that Almighty God turns this thing around and always His will be done. But that's the only hope we have, and that is in God and our Savior Jesus Christ. So pray for this nation. Floyd, it's all yours.
Thank you, buddy. Amen. No truer words ever been spoken, Charlie. I'll tell you the same thing I tell you every Thursday night. Exercise your Second Amendment rights. Don't go anywhere without your Second Amendment rights. You have that right now, and you better exercise it. You never know. You never know when the time might come that you have to protect yourself and your family. Surround yourself with like-minded people. You know who they are. You know who the like-minded people are, people who think like you and the people who believe the same way you do, and never, ever, ever get in an argument with an idiot, because when the argument's over with, he is still an idiot. And tonight, when you lay down and put your head on that pillow and go to sleep, start going to sleep, you start thanking God for everything He has done for you today. Everything, just today. Just today. And you'll go to sleep and you'll still be thanking Him. You'll still be thanking Him because He is the one and true God. That's who you need to pray to. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in to us tonight. We're sorry that our other buddies couldn't be here, but we pick on them, but we love them, and they had an important event they had to go to tonight, and it's like we pull for one another. We all in this thing together. Me and Charlie and Marvin and Queasel, and we take up for one another and we pull for one another. And we missed them tonight, but they'll be with us next Thursday night. So y'all tune us in next Thursday night. And good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. We'll see y'all then. And in the meantime, everything that you do in your life, always be
particular.
Good night, y'all. We love
Good
y'all.
night.
See you.